Okay, so this is my second attempt at making whipped shea butter. And you see I start with a clean bowl, and I have some raw shea butter, and it's unrefined. And I went ahead and put a chunk of that in the bowl. The reason why this is my second time is because the first time I got to the freezing part and I dropped it on the floor. So this is my second time. So to the bowl, I'm going to add 100% cocoa butter. And all I did, I didn't have like the butter, so I just used my stick and I just shaved off a chunk of it with my knife. So yeah, I made this the one time before and stuck it in the freezer so that it could harden up, and when I pulled it out I dropped the bowl so it broke and went all over the place, and it was really nice. So I went ahead and I'm going chunking that into the bowl, and I was just kind of cleaning up the edges with the knife there. So I figure it's cocoa butter, and I'm going to melt this. So this is why I didn't mind using the stick. So I'm going to take my tablespoon. This is 100% coconut oil. It's unrefined also. And I'm going to go ahead and put 2 teaspoons of the coconut oil into the bowl. And make sure I get all of that off there. And then at this point I am going to heat the whole mixture. Now, I'm not a big fan of microwaves, so I use sort of a double boiling method where I have water underneath the bowl in a pot, and it was boiling water, and I am as you can see, it's already starting to melt. So what I did was just begin to kind of break up the shea butter into smaller bits, because then it would melt faster. And you can see here that's what I started to do, and you can see the water boiling underneath there. So everything looks like it's melting down. So once I got it melted down, this is what I get, and I'm going to add to that some vanilla extract because I like the way vanilla extract smells. So I added 1 teaspoon of that. And I'm also going to add, oh, there's my teaspoon, okay. Actually, it was 1½ teaspoons. So to that, I'm going to add some vegetable glycerin. And I got this at Whole Foods. So I think I'm going to add 1 teaspoon. And the mixture is a little dark, but it's okay. It's going to lighten up once we begin to whip it. So I added that teaspoon. Next, I'm going to add a teaspoon of castor oil. And I also got that at Whole Foods. And that bowl and the mixture is still pretty hot, so everything's kind of melting. And that shea butter was directly from Ghana, so that's why it's a little bit darker. There's different varieties and different shades you can get. So I added 2 teaspoons of the castor oil to the mix. And I don't have a recipe, I just did what I liked. And I'm using it. And then this is my 100% aloe vera gel. And I love aloe vera gel. I use this on my hair as regular hair gel, like to hold my sides and stuff down. It works very good. So I like it a lot. So I added 1 heaping teaspoon of aloe vera gel. Now I'm adding tea tree oil. And what I did here is just initially about 15 drops of the tea tree oil. Actually, I went back after I mixed it up, but I'll let you know when I get to that part. So yeah, about 15 drops of the tea tree oil helps it preserve better. Then I'll go ahead and whisk that all together. And at this point, I understand it's not gonna whip at at this stage. So, but I did want to make sure everything was incorporated well. There's just a little something on the side of the bowl there. So, yep, just making sure I had it all incorporated well. So at this point, I'm going to use the blender just with one beater on so far, and then I'm going to actually switch to two. But I wanted to just beat it just a little before because I was trying to cool the mixture off. So the more air I put into the mixture, the cooler it will get before I just sink it right into the freezer. Because it's a Pyrex bowl. I'm not worried about it cracking. So here you can see I'm going to add the other beater and give it a good beating. So yeah, go ahead and beat that. And just, again, just to put air into the mixture and to kind of begin to cool the mixture down because it is still warm. And another reason why I didn't use the microwave is because I didn't want to overheat the mixture, because I've read that you can destroy some of the properties of the shea butter by heating it too high of a heat. So that's why I just simply did it over the boiling water. And I don't really like radiation in microwaves. I try not to put my food in microwaves as much as possible. So I'm just filling the bowl to see how warm it is. And it's still pretty warm, but so I'm just going to beat this for a few more minutes. And then at this point, I'm going to just sink it into the freezer. And there it is in the freezer. And then after I took it out, this is what I have. And this is the consistency that it is. So it's firm. It's probably a little bit firmer than what I wanted it. But I'm in the process of moving, so I started packing stuff and actually kind of forgot it was there. So shame on me. But I'll do better next time. So at this point, I'm going to start whipping. And actually, the more I whipped it, the more it turned back to a creamy white color, as you can see. So yeah, it was really, really creamy, and it was cooling down and getting really, really, really thick. So as you can see, the bowl is really cold. So I whipped this for probably a good 5 to 10 minutes. This first go around. And just turning the bowl. I'm going to invest in a mixer once after I move. So that's my next gadget that I'll buy. I'm like a gadget freak. So at this point, I'm going to just scrape down the sides a little after I mix this up. And I got a really, really nice pearl type of color. And I'm not really sure what made it that pearlized looking color. I know I've seen videos with where they use mica powder, but I got a nice pearl color. So I'm going to just scrape the sides down, and as you can see, it's really, really getting to stiff. Kind of like frosting or icing on a cake. And that's pretty much the consistency that I wanted it. And I think my name for what I've made is a little deceiving because the finished product is actually not really whipped. It's more like a souffle. And I guess I'm going to call mine a shea butter souffle. So, instead of a whipped shea butter. But it is whipped. So I'm going to whip it up a little bit more here just so I can get as much air into it as possible. And the type of shea butter I had little granules in it, so that's why you see that. And my mixer didn't want to stand up after that, the heavy beaters. So I went ahead and just showed you the consistency here. And here is the final product. It's really creamy. And after it sat for a while in my bathroom in the container, it got really, really, really souffle-like.